Hi students, in our last class we completed the prose A Letter to God, and today let us learn some new words with the help of a tree diagram. Okay? Dear students, now look at this tree diagram. There is a word storm. Storm means a bad weather with strong winds, rainfall, lightning, thunder. So in different parts of the world, storm has different names like tornado, whirlwind, cyclone, hurricane, gale, typhoon and hailstorm. Okay? Dear students, now let us know the meanings of different types of storms. Okay? The first one, a violent tropical storm in which strong winds move in a circle. That is known as cyclone. Cyclone. Next, an extremely strong wind. An extremely strong wind that is called as gale. G-A-L-E. Okay? The next one, a violent storm with strong winds. A violent storm with strong winds that is known as typhoon. T-Y-P-H-O-O-N. Typhoon. Okay? The next one, a violent storm with strong winds, especially in the Western Atlantic Ocean. The strong winds, especially that is seen in the Atlantic Ocean, that is known as the hurricane. 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 Okay? Number 5. A violent storm whose center is a cloud in the shape of a funnel. In the shape of a funnel, that storm is known as tornado. T-O-R-N-A-D-O. Okay? The last one, a very strong wind that moves very fast in a spinning movement and causes a lot of damage. That is known as the whirlwind. W-H-I-R-L-W-I-N-D. So students, these are all about the different types of storms that we discussed in this class. Dear students, now let us discuss what is non-defining relative clause. Okay? So before going to discuss non-defining relative clause, first come to know what is a relative clause. Take for example, throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his field intimately, looked at the sky. Students, here is a relative clause. Who knew his field intimately. So, why it is called relative clause? Because a relative clause that modifies the noun. So, here the noun is the Lencho. And the relative clause, it starts with a relative pronoun, that is who. So students, for person, the relative pronouns are who or whom, and for non-person, we can use which or that, and for both person and non-person, we can use whose. Okay? Now look at this sentence. Who knew his field intimately? This relative clause gives extra information about the proper noun Lencho. As Lencho is a proper noun, so there is no need of this extra information. That's why this relative clause is known as the non-defining relative clause. Okay? And in case of non-defining relative clause, comma is used before the relative pronoun and after the clause. But students, in the defining relative clause, there is no need of the commas. Okay? Dear students, now let us join the sentences using a relative pronoun. So there are two sentences. My mother is going to host a TV show on cooking. And the second sentence, she cooks very well. So students, in the first sentence, the subject is my mother. And in the second sentence, she cooks very well, she is the subject. So my mother and she both refers to one person, the same person. So as it is the person, we will use the relative pronoun who. So the sentence will be my mother who cooks very well. Who cooks very well. Who cooks very well is going to host a TV show. Going to host a TV show on cooking. So here the relative pronoun is who. Okay. The next one, our institution is highly popular. The second sentence, it works for public welfare. Here the subject is our institution. And in the second sentence, it works for public welfare. Here it refers to the same institute. So institution is a noun person. So in non-defining relative clause, as it is a noun person, always which will be used. So the sentence will be our institution which works for public welfare. Which works for public welfare is highly popular. Is highly popular. So students, here the relative pronoun is which. Okay. So students, so who cooks very well, this is the relative clause. And look how commas are used before the relative pronoun and in the ending of the relative clause. And in the second sentence also, which works for public welfare. This is the relative clause and we use comma before the relative pronoun and after the end of the clause. Okay? Okay students, now let us discuss the using negatives for emphasis. The first one, this year we will have no corn. So we write this sentence without changing its meaning by using the negative emphasis. So we will write, the crops have failed. The crops have failed. The next one, the trees lost all their leaves. And its negative emphasis will be, not a leaf remained on the trees. Remained on the trees. The last one, the letter was addressed to God Himself. And its negative emphasis will be, it was nothing. It was nothing less than a letter to God. Okay? So dear students, This is all about the language skills today we discussed. Thank you. Bye bye.